everybody, welcome to My Dumb Opinion. I'm your host, King Nick. Today's opinion is Alola form Pokemon and the 6 I would like to see get a new Alola form. Alola forms are a newly introduced mechanic in Pokemon Sun and Moon, wherein old Pokemon are given new appearances, and from what we've seen so far, new type combinations as well. There is a precedent in established games for Pokemon looking different based on where they were caught. Arbok came first with its changing markings between generations, and the Shellos line from Gen 4 changed appearance within its initial region also. Today's opinion, I'll be introducing one Pokemon line in each generation that I would like to see get a new form. So far, all the Alola forms that have been announced have come from Gen 1. We've gone from the Fire-type Vulpix and Ninetales to their new Ice and Ice Fairy Alola forms. Sandshrew and Sandslash have similarly gone from Ground to Ice Steel. Then they've given us Exeggutor, who's gone from a Grass Psychic to this little fella who is a Grass Dragon. Why does it make sense? It doesn't really, but that's what they did. So far, we have no information about whether Execute will also change types, or whether traditional typings will be available to catch or encounter via trainer battles. It's also unknown whether their stats change, but I'm going to assume that they do. My hopes for Gen 1 Alola forms come in Ekans and Arbok. I would like to see them go from their pure poison types to grass type for Ekans and grass type for Arbok. This Ekans and Arbok would be more like a python than a viper. They would sneak through the grass and overpower their prey, so I would imagine them having a lower speed and a higher physical stat and more of a green-brown coloration. Ever since the announcement for Alola forms, there's one Pokemon from Gen 2 that made this whole thing fit into the grand scheme of things to me. We've got Blossom, the final evolution of Gloom, an alternate final evolution of Gloom, normally made by evolving Gloom from a Sunstone. If you look at Blossom, it is much more tropical and Hawaiian than the Johto region from which it originates. Maybe make Alola region act as a Sunstone so that Gloom naturally evolves into a Blossom, but keeping Vileplume as a Sunstone, not Sunstone, a Leafstone evolution. The one Pokemon from Gen 2 I would love to see get an Alola form is, of course, Dunsparce. He's currently a normal type. Doesn't do anything, doesn't get any play. I would love to see him as a ground fairy type. Really, every development in every generation, someone is hoping something is done with Dunsparce. It's so unremarkable and useless that something needs to be done. I think it looks like a ground fairy in its normal state, and I just kind of want to see anything done to this thing. Generation 3 is the closest in theme to what we've seen so far for the Alola Islands. There is a Pokemon that I hope to see get a new change, in the sense that Tropius looks like he fits into this region and he would be perfect in there. So I'm saying give him a new appearance, but don't change anything else about Tropius. On the other hand, I would love to see Clamperl and its evolutionary line go through heavy changes. Well, not heavy changes, but a new Alola form. I chose this evolutionary line because there are a ton of water Pokemon in this generation, and this region looks like it should be rich in waterway, seeing as how it's an island chain and all. Clamperl would stay water, but Huntail would become rock electric based on its rocky look and the eel that it's based off of, and hopefully it would be given a water absorb ability or something equivalent. And again, going off look, Scorbus should be given fairy type to its normal water typing. Gen 4 was kind enough to give us Shellos and Gastrodon, Pokemon that changed appearances within their own region. So all you have to do for them is just give them another form. Call it their Alola form. It fits perfectly within their Pokedex and their already known information about them. And you don't have to change anything else, just done. On the other hand, I would like to see a little bit of change in an Alola form for Shinx, Luxio, and Luxray. It was kind of hard to find a Pokemon line in Generation 4 to make the changes to, so I chose my favorite Pokemon from the generation, these fellas. What I would like to see in them is make them brown and pursue a Sphinx idea. Shinx would become ground, Luxio would become ground rock, and Luxray would become ground steel. And just as it evolves, it would grow more armor on itself. Like Shellos and Gastrodon, Gen 5 gives us Basculin and Basculin. Two pictures. Basculin is another Pokemon with multiple forms to start with, so I just ran with the theme. Make one of them water ice, and the water ice one would be found near the mountain that changes Vulpix into ice, and the other one would come near the delta of a tropical river and would be a water grass type. And finally, we come to Gen 6, in which I hope to see the Noblecar get an evolution. It's already a rock fairy, and I would like to see it become a fire fairy. The normal Carbink is an already fully formed geode type thing. In this form could be found in and around a volcano, and it would be considered to be an immature Carbink. But while not a pre-evolution, it just isn't a Carbink that is fully formed yet, so it's still hot. So, fire! Oh no! Thank you for joining me as I give you my hopes for the Alola forms of Pokemon from all 6 generations, excluding Gen 7, which is yet to come out and shouldn't have an Alola form for any Pokemon. I really appreciate you being here. If you liked the video, click like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Otherwise, thank you, and you have a good day. Bye!